All right, you have $500 cash, courtesy of the new comedy Ice Harvest, starring John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, God bless you, Howard.
Critics are calling it this year's Bad Santa. The Ice Harvest in theaters everywhere Wednesday, November 23rd.
Don't you think you ought to find out how long he's going to last?
Yeah, maybe I'll take back my 500. What, you got terminal cancer?
It's in the spinal cord.
Oh.
And I'm in excruciating pain. I sent some information to Gary to verify.
All right, well, you got $500. Thank you, and I wish you luck. God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Howard.
All right, hold on. Yeah, sorry. Feel bad for the dude.
I know.
He's trying to leave on a high note.
Shouldn't have picked up.
Should have hung up. You know how he got cancer, Artie? He was eating one of those sausages from downstairs.
Oh.
No. All right, listen, I hope the guy's okay. Give him $500, make his day better. All right, Alex, nice meeting you. And, hot chicks, call 1-800-44-STERN if you want to win a trip for your man to Las Vegas for the AVN Awards. Go with him.
Oh, she can go.
Yeah, thanks to Sarah Silverman for that Jesus thing, and thanks to Robert Downey Jr. and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang opening today in theaters everywhere. We'll see you on Monday.
92.3 K-Rock. Great rock, period. Starting January 3rd on 92.3 Free FM. David Lee Roth. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10. Free FM.
Tonight on Friday's #1 new drama.
Liberalism. Oh, okay. On terrorism and foreign policy, which have been among Mr. Bush's strong points, only about 4 in 10 now approve.
The news is sponsored by Bigelow Tea, the official tea of the Imus in the Morning program.
Survey puts the Iraq War at the core of the public's disappointment. And more than 8 in 10 describe Mr. Bush as stubborn. Almost as many Republicans as Democrats agree with that description of stubbornness.
Like the number of S words. Stubborn, stupid.
Yes. Stalwart.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, I imagine.
Well, I know it is. What else?
Ray Nagin, mayor of New Orleans, in the
Another
headlines. Katrina fatigue. Mayor Nagin says that he is seeing that these days, especially true when talking to members of Congress on Capitol Hill about giving money for projects necessary to help rebuild New Orleans. Yeah. Nagin says there is still so much help that New Orleans needs.
Levees, to make sure that there's a firm commitment to immediately give us the kind of protection we need before the next hurricane season.
All right, you found it.
There you go.
He's all over that.
He is all over it.
We need some levees.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You can get a couple of more new levees in there.
I thought those were his daughters, Katrina and Fatigue.
No.
Must have been misinformed.
Yes, Senator Kennedy. No.
There's that here somewhere in a memo.
Can we get a couple of sun pumps, too? Do we, please?
More levies.
The Imus in the Morning business report. That's the mayor of New Orleans. Oh, my God.
We're safe now.
The Imus in the Morning business report sponsored by the New York Stock Exchange.
Some blow dryers, too.
Today at the exchange, the opening bell will be rung by Lieutenant General Arthur J. Litschke in commemoration of Veterans Day. He was talking to Colonel Jack Jacobs about that. At 11 a.m., the New York Stock Exchange will pause to remember all American veterans for 2 minutes of silence. On Monday, the opening bell will be rung by Gaylord Entertainment Company Chairman and CEO Colin V. Reed, joined by Nashville Mayor Bill Purcell and Grand Ole Opry member Tricia Yearwood. She'll be up there on that podium with them, will she?
What are you saying?
The company is celebrating the 80th anniversary of the Grand Ole Opry.
All right.
With a live performance Monday night at Carnegie Hall.
Wow.
The Grand Ole Opry at Carnegie Hall. Gaylord Entertainment Company, headquartered in Nashville, trades under the ticker symbol GET. So this could be the only program in America, it's the only program in the history of the world that features guests who are card-carrying members of the Communist Party. Everybody from, well, Senator Kennedy to...
Is that supposed to be a joke?
Yes.
I hope so.
To Al Franken, to all of these various other folks, juxtaposed with people who sing country music. A little Miranda Lambert will be in here on Monday, and then on Thursday, which we have a big focus for Big and Rich.
Huge.
And the Freight Parade. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 94 points yesterday to 10,640. NASDAQ up 21, Chuck, to 2197.
Wheels are back on.
New York Stock Exchange Composite up 29 points to 75.30. What else going on, Charles? Anything?
A couple of things, man. As an example.
Yeah.
Supreme Court nominee Samuel Alito saying that he is never, to his knowledge, ruled in a case in which he had an obligation to disqualify himself. Alito responded to questions by Democrats regarding his ethics in a letter to Senate Judiciary Chairman Arlen Specter. The Democrats recently pointed out that Alito, as a member of the 3rd U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, had gone ahead and ruled on a pair of cases involving firms that helped manage Alito's investments, despite a promise in 1990, according to the Democrats, that he would not do that. And Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney is being taken to task over remarks made last night by a person who introduced him during a speech in Washington.
What happened here?
The host referred to Romney as the head of the state run by the KKK, or the Kennedy-Kerry Klan. That's where they got the KKK. State Democrats are very upset with the Klan reference to Massachusetts and the fact that Romney did not immediately condemn the remarks. The governor says he wasn't paying attention to the introduction, later referred to them as ill-advised and inappropriate. Romney was speaking to the Federalist Society yesterday, a group made up of libertarians and conservatives.
By the way, Dennis Miller, in an Imus-like stand-up performance at the Securities Industry Association's annual dinner in Boca Raton, apparently upset a bunch of Wall Street elite folks because the jokes ran according to the New York Post, the raunchy gamut from Viagra to former President Clinton's sex life. And some people walked out on the performance. The CEO of Wachovia apologized for my friend Mr. Miller's remarks to those who remained in the room.
I recall when you were doing stand-up back in the 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
I always thought it was a strange juxtaposition, you doing stand-up, because as I recall, after about 2 minutes, you were on the floor.
Patrick McEnroe with sports is next. Here's Big and Rich.
Baby, don't you know I'm a real soul shaker? Baby, don't you know I'm gonna set your world on fire? Gonna take it so high we'll be down a hole in the sky. I'm a dynamite daddy, I'll put the rhythm in your blues. I'm not a wishy-washy boy like you used to. Hey, I'm a real soul shaker. I'm a true love maker. I'm a giver and a taker. Yeah, when I give you what I got, you're gonna rock. Ain't gonna wham bam. Hey, thank you, ma'am. I ain't gonna be just another heartbreaker. Baby, don't you know I'm a real soul shaker? I'm in the morning.
Salesforce.com lets you manage all.
Edward Kennedy. Good morning, Senator Kennedy.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Imus, for this opportunity to express my gratitude and that of the entire Democratic Party for the service you are rendering to this nation. To my knowledge, none of my colleagues in Democratic leadership roles had any foreknowledge of your decision to come out of the closet, as it were, and with such vigor, align yourself with the furthest left, most psychotically radical fringe elements of our party, such as myself and my dear friend, Senator Christopher Dodd.
Yeah.
Your revised criteria for selecting guests, reflected in recent days, is deeply satisfying, as all of them are individuals who soon will be burning effigies of Bush administration figures out in front of the White House under the direction of Cindy Sheehan. I'd like to take just a moment here to review.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, for example, you welcomed to your program Al Franken, North America's answer to Hugo Chavez. I mean, you can't be much further to the left than that without falling off the planet. And the day before, Louis Black, the brilliant satirist, late of The Daily Show, whose physical and philosophical resemblance, not only to Mr. Franken, but also to shoe bomber Richard Reed, is more than just passing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So many others. Why today, Tom Oliphant, the gifted Boston Globe columnist whose trademark bow tie precedes him, seeming to sniff with such superior disdain. Really, you level your trailer with a calcified potato and a flattened Schlitz can. How interesting. No, intelligent design never designed anything more intelligent than Tom. And could I overlook columnist Maureen Dowd of the New York Times? I guess when, a day or two before Al Franken? Certainly not. Not with her bitchy, spiteful, unremitting anti-Dick diatribes from Dick Cheney to Richard Pearl to, well, perhaps all of us, given the title of Marine's new book, Are Men Necessary? A better social question, Ms. Dowd, are emotions necessary? Given the amount of Botox it said you've had injected into your face with a friggin' turkey baster. I don't know if you noticed, Mr. Imus, but Miss Dowd suddenly looks like the consequence of an entanglement, har, between RoboCop and a seamstress's dummy. You know, you get the same exact expression whether you hit her hot spot with a joy buzzer or stabbed her in the ear with a papermate. But happily, the frenzied essays from our favorite red-headed nabob of nihilism have not suffered a bit. No. Still as delirious as ever. So my thanks again for your creation here of a little backwater of Al Jazeera. Oh, yes, my colleague John Corzine, soon to be leaving the Senate, as you know, sends along his thanks as well. So I raise my glass in a toast to you, Dono. Won't you join me? No? I guess not. Why no?
Senator Edward Kennedy, here on the Imus in the Morning program. The aforementioned Tom Oliphant is next.
Hallelujah, if you hear my bodyguard, I can be your long-lost pal. I can call you Daddy, Daddy, when you call me out. Imus in the morning.
Something big is here. I, of course, went to see a doctor. In this case, Darkot Vaughn. But anyway,
and this had turned out to be a day you should have been there.
yeah, because there was apparently a hideous screaming match between Joe Benigno, who hosts the 10 to 1 program on Sports Radio 66 FAN in New York.
He's great, by the way.
And Christopher Russo, who co-hosts the Mike and Amanda show with Mike Francesa. It's on every day on FAN from 1 to 6:30 and simulcast on the Yes Television Network. Anyway, Mr. Benigno's in the studio, and first of all, good morning, Joe. How are you?
Good morning, How are you?
So what happened yesterday?
Well, basically we got in a little bit of a shouting match
Over what?
Over sports-related stuff. I mean, this was strictly all sports, nothing personal.
Right.
And I guess, I said something that kind of hit a chord with Chris, and it got a little crazy.
What is it you said? Well, who are you arguing about, or what?
Well, it was a football thing. He's been busting me about the Jets for a while. Like every day, like singing me Jets. And we started talking about Donovan McNabb.
Sure.
And, he doesn't think he's a very good quarterback. I think he's a terrific quarterback.
Sure.
So we got into with that, and then one thing led to another, and I kind of said something to the effect, well, stick to your baseball and tennis.
Don't
bring tennis into this, Joe. Come on. Well, I did say that. I called him a homo. I didn't say about a homo.
Go watch the homo sports. That's what you're saying. Yeah, go watch those Mo sports.
I don't
appreciate that, Joe.
Stick to baseball and tennis. That was
tennis match. The guy, sissy boy.
Yeah.
But that's what I said, and he got a little off the wall after that, and
I understand he dropped
went from there.
I understand he dropped the F-bomb on you.
Yeah, I guess he did. Which was very uncharacteristic of Chris. I don't think I've ever heard him say that before. Maybe watching a Giant loss or something like
I've
that.
never heard him swear.
Yeah, no, I haven't either.
I haven't heard explain his side of it. It's Chris Russo. Good morning, Mad Dog.
Good morning, Don. How are you, pal?
Okay, Chris.
Coffee this morning, Chris?
That Louis Rufino, what a little sneak. I mean, gee whiz, can Louis keep a secret for once in his life?
The whole station. Kidding me?
No, this was reported. This was reported and made by many other people.
Who, for instance?
Julie.
Yeah, people in the neighborhood heard it.
Yeah, it's in the papers, Chris.
I see you had Patrick McEnroe in today.
So, yes.
Hey, Patrick.
Chris, how are you, buddy?
Good job out of you, Chrissy. Good job, buddy.
So, Chris,
Match in Belgium going, Patty.
Chris, what got you so exercised?
Well, I think Joe hit it right on the head. Joe came out, and Joe has a pension. He's very frustrated right now by the Jets, Joe, because the Jets, the season's over, and like with me with the Giants in June, if the Giants were done, I'd be upset too. Yeah. And Joe's upset, so he came out and talked about McNabb and said that, McNabb's a great quarterback, which I disagree with. He's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback.
Sure.
And Joe said, well, I take him on my team anytime. And then I zinged him and said, Joe, your team is out. Who cares about your team? They're 2-6. Boom, they stink. And that really raised Joe's air a little bit, and as a result, we went on and on about McNabb, and then when Joe ran back in the studio at 10 of 1, he said, why don't you, as you usually just, Joe handled it, why don't you talk about baseball, and he threw in the tennis thing.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm a hothead to begin with, who, erased shingles when Mike went on vacation 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I went in there, and I yelled and screamed at him, and unfortunately used language that I don't like, right before he went back on the air. So I did a terrible job with that. That was a very poor job on my part. And then Mark Zuckerman, who I know you love, who's a great local sales manager, he was downstairs, and he saw this, and he was laughing. And I don't think he meant anything by it, and I jumped on him, and that's when Louis, your trusted cohort in crime, that's when he picked up on it, and then, I was flying. So I was pretty upset there for about 10, 12 minutes. It was totally... The Mark Zuckerman thing was my fault.
Well,
Joe and me was 50%.
Why don't you stick to tennis?
Because I'm a sports talk show host.
You have no idea what you're talking about, though.
I'm doing something right. I've been on for 17 years.
You're suggesting he knows what he's talking about when it comes to tennis?
So would you like to take this opportunity to apologize to Benigno?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I thought Joe and I cleared it up yesterday.
Oh.
The only thing that Joe did, he called my house last night. I was giving a Boy Scout speech, lo and behold. And so he spoke to my lovely wife.
You were doing what?
No comment.
Oh, my God.
What about Megan's Law?
I'm not sending my kid camping with you, okay?
Uncle Russo, please report to the front desk. Anyway, so Joe and I think we had cleared the air every time this... By 1:20, this was over, John. I know you're trying to make this out to be a big dispute between, the two shows here, but... By 1:20, I think Joe would admit this was probably over, right, Joe?
Well, yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I was very shaky about this all day, Chris. There's no question about it. I mean, what bothered me all day, even went out last night when my wife had a martini, which I haven't done in a long time, so it was bothering me. And, I did call you last night. You were out, and I spoke to, as you said, your lovely wife, Jeannie, and because I felt I needed to apologize one more time.
There is nothing to apologize, Joe.
What are you apologizing for?
Chris didn't call you back? He didn't call you back? Well, he was late.
You couldn't call him back, Chris? Yeah, good point, Pat.
I mean, what time did you get over from the Boy Scout dinner? I didn't ask him to call me.
I got home at 10:30, Pat.
Terrible job. What do you keep a Boy Scout
he's not up?
10:30 at night, Joe?
A little too late.
What the hell's that about?
Guy did the overnight show for whatever 10 years. Of course he's up.
What kind of Italians are these guys anyway?
If you really cared, you would have called the guy back. I don't care what time it is.
What's that, Bernie?
What kind of greaseballs are these guys? They've been going at each other's throats.
He said he got the F-bomb.
Again?
You know what I think? I think they both should cover tennis. Thanks, you guys. Mad Dog Russo and Joe Benigno. Hey!
There's water in the house. The tub's running over. Plaster falling down in pieces by the couch of pain. There's water in the house. Time to duck and cover. Helicopters hover over rough terrain. There's water in the house. Reptile wisdom. Zombies on the lawn, staggering around. There's order in the house. There's a flaw in the system, and the fly in the ointment all bring the whole thing down. I'm in the morning.
Yeah, it's got to kick yourself on it, Bernie.
Oh, that's cool. That's different.
We need an Imus. Now that I've got to thinking about it, we need an Imus in the morning. Don't we?
No.
Yeah,
No,
he
we...
can sexually harass Barbie.
Well, anyway. So, the Cardinals coming up this morning. MSNBC apparently has a clip of Anderson Cooper and Ryan Seacrest doing what?
I haven't heard it, but it sounds very salacious. Flirting on the air. Ryan Seacrest sat in for Larry King Tuesday night while King took his daughter over to the Country Music Awards.
Right.
And apparently Anderson Cooper was teasing his show, and they ended up teasing each other. Some exchange there. Sexual entendres, stuff like that.
Is this something we've been promised by MSNBC that turns out not to be one of those kinds of deals? Well, let's can we roll it? Let me hear it.
We're going to come back in just a second with Nicole Ritchie. Anderson Cooper standing by in New York. What's coming up tonight, Anderson, on 360? Hey, Ryan, how's it going? That's the biggest tie I've ever seen, by the way.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. It is true. It's bigger than my head, isn't it?
No, it works. It works for you. I'm just, you know, we're just...
Look at the size of your bow's tiny, mine's huge. All right, what's coming up on the show?
I've heard that often. Yeah, we're going to be taking a look at the storm warnings going on right now in the Midwest. Nashville is threatened. It's taking a pounding right now. We'll take a look at the latest on that, show you the damage. We're also going to look at an ongoing problem in Iowa.
Well, that's enough of that. Stop. Stop it. Enough of madness. That's stupid.
They make a cute couple.
Well, leave them alone.
Well, yeah, it happens all the time with when a female anchor throws it to the male anchor. They a little light flirtatious banter. There's something wrong with two guys doing it?
No, we were overpromised.
Oh,
There was nothing there, right, Charles?
not a lot.
I mean, it's stupid. That's my point. I didn't make a judgment on the appropriateness of it.
I'm just smelling homophobia in the air, is all I'm saying.
From where? From me?
Well, no, I don't know where it's originating or emanating from.
No, I think
It just stinks.
I'm sorry I had Mexican last night.
I think it's fine. I think no, it's fine with me. Hey, Jack, come here. Let me see that hat. Hey, come here. Anyway, it is about 6 minutes till the hour. Colonel Jack Jacobs, this is the guy, the Medal of Honor recipient, has just turned into an absolute MSNBC buffoon. Let me see that hat.
A buffoon. Oh, that's nice.
A whack job.
Where'd you get this? Who makes this hat? No, it's not a good hat. It's a cheap hat.
It's taller than he is.
Who gave it to him? Who? Bob Kerry gave it to him? Well, if it's not a resistol, then you can't wear it. I mean, I know something about it. Like Dwight Yoakam wears Stetson. It's the same company, but it looks good on you, though. No, I mean, you've just become, I don't know, you're a dignified person. You're a war hero. Well, no, you can't just go around. You can't turn yourself into, 2-foot Fred from Big and Rich.
What is it with these teeny cowboys today? Deputy
What
Group
the hell is going on?
What is
You trying to get in Big and Rich's band?
Which one's the kinky action figure?
Anyway, it's 5 minutes
press
till
your
the
back,
hour.
will you say something funny?
It's 5 minutes till the hour.
$100 bills, and it kills and it thrills like the horns on my Silverado grill. And I buy the bar double round a crown, and everybody's getting down in this town. Ain't never gonna be the same. 'Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise 'cause the girls, they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old stud Leroy, and the girls say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody says, save a horse, ride a cowboy. I'm in the morning.
Mohegan Sun's no rent, no mortgage giveaway is your chance to win your share of $225,000. Do whatever you want. Each week,
5 minutes after the hour here at the Iverson Winning Program on the radio around the country. And on MSNBC, coming up this morning, Evan Thomas from Newsweek Magazine, George Stephanopoulos from ABC News, like old George, and Miranda Lambert, who's a Horizon Award nominee. That's a newcomer situation. To CMA's tomorrow night. We like her, and she's here. She's terrific. Her album went number one. She was on Nashville Star for we first saw her. And I believe she was in the same edition that Buddy Jewell won. That's where we became Lambert aware. Yeah. Yep. And then she did, and Sony signed her. She did an album, went number one. Still on the charts. I looked at Billboard last night. Then Bill Clinton is here this morning, former President of the United States. Right. And Jack Nicholson is here as well, as we decided to do everything we could possibly do to have so many people on the program that there's no time for anything. That it's impossible to conduct for the I-Man. I have I don't have kind of some bad news. I do have bad news. I know. My brother has 4 sons. Bobby,
Donnie, Scott, and Harry. And they found Bobby dead in Fort Worth, in Texas, on Saturday. He's was 36, and we're not quite sure what happened. He'd had a brain tumor that they operated. Dr. Yazigil down at the Arkansas Cancer Research Center operated on about, I can't remember when, a little over a year ago, I guess, and he seemed to be okay.
Yeah.
But he was having a tough time emotionally. Nice kid, sure great kid, well, young man, you know. And I feel bad for Fred and Donnie Imus, who particularly close to him. So we're not quite sure what we're going to do, but whether they're going to have the service in Fort Worth or in Apache Junction, Arizona, or wherever. So wherever it is, I'm going to go whenever it is.
It's terrible.
Anyway, 8 minutes after the hour, time for some probably more bad news.
There is bad news.
What do these two kids do now? And
Well, the girl's parents were killed over the weekend. Double murder. And police in this town of Lititz, Pennsylvania, still searching for the 18-year-old, the boyfriend of the minor, which is 14-year-old, Cara Beth Border. And right now, they believe that most likely the boy was the gunman and that he killed his girlfriend's parents early Sunday and then perhaps abducted her. At least that's what they're leaning toward now. Got a nationwide alert out and an Amber Alert because she's a minor. Police in Lititz say they don't know if the 14-year-old Cara Beth Border was really kidnapped or went willingly with David Ludwig, is the 18-year-old's name, but right now they're leaning toward the theory, though they emphasize they don't know, but leaning toward the theory that she probably was not a willing participant, but they don't know that for sure. But the parents, Michael and Catherine Borden, were found shot to death in their home yesterday morning. Also,
what precipitated that?
They really don't know. They believe the 18-year-old they disapproved. Apparently, the parents disapproved of the fact that he's 18. The girl was 14, a minor. He went, they think, over to their residence to speak to them about it. Something went wrong, and they wound up dead.
Jesus.
Also in the headlines, which we mentioned briefly, the president leaving today for an 8-day trip to Asia. With a full agenda, he'll tackle the possibility of a bird flu pandemic, the boosting of global free trade talks, the promotion of democracy, White House officials predicting few tangible breakthroughs for this week-long Asia tour starting today.
Well, why is he going then?
It's just maybe to get out of town.
I'd better find someplace else that likes him better than we like him here, right? Jesus.
And
did I hear you say Forrester? This buffoon from New Jersey is blaming his losing this election to Corzine on Bush?
At least in part, being tied that the advertising that the Corzine camp, did basically toward the end of the campaign, tying him to
How about
Bush.
this, a fat crook? You think that contributed anything to it?
I don't know that he is a fat crook.
Well, no, but
I don't.
Bernie said that, or someone, one of you said that. Wasn't he a fat crook, Bernie, or no?
Well, no, he's fat. I don't know about a crook.
Wasn't he getting sued all the time over that whole pharmaceutical deal?
It's just business as usual. Companies get sued. But he should just shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, you're lost. I mean,
Stop whining.
You lost fingers, man. Have some grace or whatever, you dope. Take some of your drugs and relax.
How do you feel, Bernie?
I feel pretty good, thank you, Chief.
What else, Chuck?
At least 6 people killed in an Iraq roadside blast, Iman, that went off near a pair of buses. Hospital officials in Ramadi say another 30 have been injured. The blast tore through one of the buses, and one doctor said at least 10 of the injured were in serious condition. The buses were carrying passengers from a town near Baghdad to Ramadi, which is the capital of the western Anbar province. And an Iraqi woman wearing a headscarf and a long black coat showed up on Jordanian TV yesterday and confessed to her role in last week's luxury hotel bombings. She said she had tried to blow herself up alongside her husband. His bomb worked, hers didn't. On NBC's Meet the Press yesterday, King Abdullah of Jordan said the terrorists were simply out to kill his people.
These suicide bombers actually went and aimed at Jordanian targets. The Radisson Hotel was a Jordanian wedding with the Jordanians and Palestinians where innocent people were killed. So this was nothing to do with the West. This targeted Jordanian citizens,
Wasn't his wife on
men, women, and children.
Wasn't his wife on something? King Abdullah's wife? What's the matter?
What do you mean, wasn't his wife on something?
Well, no,
What are you talking
did
about?
she appear on something, too?
That I don't know.
Did you see her, Bernie? Or?
Yeah. Oh, she's a beauty.
Yeah.
Beautiful Palestinian woman. Abdullah, but I didn't see her.
Well, why were you looking at me like that?
Well, I didn't know what in the world you were talking about.
Oh.
Was her wife? Was it,
No, I didn't mean back to Forrester. You mean like on... No,
I didn't know what you were talking about. It could have gone anywhere.
It probably could have, yeah.
But this woman, Sajida al-Rishawi, said she and her husband had entered the Radisson Hotel. That was where the wedding was being held. She said there were women and children in the room. Rishawi said she and her husband executed the attack, quote, I tried to detonate and it failed. People started running and I ran with them, end quote.
It is. Said a thing about to do a man's job. What? No. Actually, she looks like a man, though. Good Lord. No. The other guy's probably glad. No, just be quiet. You're in the hole. Stop digging. It's 13 minutes after the hour.
In fact, it was supposed to go the other way, right, Bernie? His was not supposed to explode, but hers was.
Chris is coming up with the...
oh, my God.
Chris is coming up with the results of my wife uses more bleach on her hair than she does the laundry 500. And all the football scores and other stuff just ahead. How do Rutgers do? They lost, right?
Yeah, rough one Friday night.
Good.
Imus in the morning.
This is what life was before.
For Joan's legacy. There was this woman who worked at NBC and died of lung cancer. And they call it the Strolling Supper with Blues and News. So it's at Times Square Studios, 1500 Broadway at 44th Street. And they have food and wine and Delbert. And it's hosted by Tom Brokaw, Aaron Brown, John Stossel, Elizabeth Vargas, Barbara Walters, and Brian Williams. And Delbert performs, of course, and they raise money for lung cancer research, which there's not a lot of money being devoted to specifically lung cancer research. So they have an auction, a silent auction, and a not so silent auction, in which they, like, for example, they're auctioning off sports, to the opportunity to do sports here in the Emerson Winning program, which I forget what it went for last year, but the bid this year from the same guy is $8,100. I'm now bidding $10,000 for that.
There you go.
Then I'll do the sports.
All right.
So somebody has to let this guy know that the bid's $10,000. Now, there's another thing that they're auctioning off. Tom Brokaw's actual anchor chair.
I heard about that.
What do you think the deal is with that?
I don't know, but you talk about a piece of memorabilia. Come on.
That's used by Tom Brokaw and Brian Williams.
Yep.
He shouldn't be using it, should he?
Actually, he should have had his own chair. He should.
That's not showing any respect, is it, B?
No, putting his amateur butt on that vaunted seat, I agree with the Iron Man. But I guess he sniffed it enough. They figured, go ahead, jump in.
We probably could have done without that observation. But
Keep it real.
Well, I was just going to add, but you're probably right.
Accurate though it may be.
Okay, I'll bid $10,000 on that, too.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
So I'm bidding $10,000 on the anchor chair.
Yeah.
And $10,000 to do sports on this program. In fact, if I win this, I will do sports from the anchor chair that I'm going to get.
Perfect.
You know, I bought a thing at Rails. I think I paid $15,000 for that at the Skip dinner, or maybe more. And I have never gone. I still have that. In fact, I bid for something last year, I think at this Jones Legacy deal, for 10 grand, and I never did it. Or wasn't it to go sit in the director's chair while they did the news?
Yeah.
Exactly. I never did that.
Yeah.
Don't they still have to let me do that if I want to?
There's no statute of limitations.
Of course.
Right.
You bought it. You bought the privilege. You bet.
So, yesterday when I was...
Stupid moron.
yesterday when I was wailing on Halleck Cleaners, Mark said, I really feel bad because I have this image of this guy's little cleaners over 2nd Avenue in Manhattan, and you're killing them. And what's he going to do? And I said, no, they have a lot of places. But apparently they have one shop in Manhattan, which is on 2nd Avenue, and one in Hackensack, New Jersey.
That's it?
Yeah.
So he is a little guy.
Yeah, small business operator.
That man was just stomping him.
Ran up against the big guy.
No. Well, I got an employment agency in Greenwich, Connecticut I'm going to kill this morning. But, well, no, I've given Mr. Halleck and everybody, they're going to try to, like this jacket that I wear all the time.
Yeah.
They were supposed to put a lot of starch in this, and they didn't.
Looks limp. Looks limp.
Well, it is limp.
Yeah. Not good.
Are you just saying that, or does it really look limp?
Looks limp as it can be.
Really?
No, it looks like it's so you just pull it out of a pool.
Just looks like a rag.
Huh?
But the guy was on yesterday, and he said he's going to do better.
That's right.
Well, we're going to see tonight.
Through his tears, he said that.
Well, tough.
You and your cleaners suck.
Well, no, the problem is that if you're a person who's taking your stuff to the cleaners and you don't have this radio program, and you can't do anything about it. And these businesses, and tell me I'm wrong about this. Stop me when I'm saying something that's not true. These various businesses, all of them, screw people just on an ongoing, regular basis, and don't care. You want to stop me anytime you want to say something's not true?
Well, there are some small business owners who do care.
Rarely.
They have people who work for them, and then they can't get them you can't motivate them.
I mean, you want to tell people?
I haven't stopped you yet.
Want to tell people about your refrigerator situation that we had to get nuts about? No, you don't, do you?
Can't stop you yet.
All right. 10 minutes after you. Well, enough of this jive. It's tough. Delbert's going to be out in a minute. I asked him, I said, well, obviously Delbert can do what he wants. But he said he's ready to go anytime, so. There's some real musicians with Delbert.
Oh, man. Well,
supposed to some of them come in here.
These guys
who play their instruments, but barely.
These guys are absolutely top drawer.
Okay, anyway, here's Chuck.
Aye, man. How you doing?
Well, I'm good.
You want some news? I can
Well,
handle.
what would you think I wanted?
I can handle that. I thought you meant just, here's Chuck. You know,
I had a funny conversation with Peter Smythe yesterday. He runs all those stations up in Boston.
What's his deal?
He said, well, we just renewed with you for 3 years. I said, well, how are you going to handle 2 of those years on satellite? Hot content. But I was just kidding.
On the bird.
Because I'm not going to satellite.
Oh, of course not.
I have no intention of going to
Free
satellite.
radio, baby.
Unless I'm forced to. Other than that.
How could you be forced? What do you mean?
Somebody could not be realistic, but maybe they will be. It's, what's going on?
Well, we spoke of the deal that was personally brokered, they're saying, shepherded by Dr. Rice, Israel and the Palestinians reaching a deal on Gaza border crossings after this all-night bargaining. It was brought a nationwide manhunt to an end yesterday afternoon in Indiana. State police troopers there arrested this 18-year-old David Ludwig, talked about yesterday, after a 5-mile chase where speeds reached better than 90 miles an hour to the west of Indianapolis. And the 14-year-old girl, Kara Borden, was found safe in Ludwig's vehicle after it hit a tree. Indiana State Police First Sergeant David Burston says he's not sure why the two were in Indiana.
Oh, would he be, Lou?
Why someone goes to a particular state or what their ultimate destination was, we don't know. I can tell you that he has cooperated in the investigation that we've had here thus far, but we are not able to discuss any of the specifics that we've had with him.
Authorities in Pennsylvania issued an Amber Alert for Kara Borden and for Ludwig after Borden's parents were both found shot to death in their home on Sunday. Ludwig faces murder, kidnap, and reckless endangerment charges in Pennsylvania for allegedly killing Borden's parents after an argument about his relationship with their minor daughter. Investigators have not said whether they think Borden was abducted or perhaps fled willingly with Ludwig. He's expected to be extradited to Pennsylvania. Ludwig could have a court hearing in Indiana as early as today. And the Senate today will consider allowing Guantanamo detainees access to federal courts, reversing an earlier decision about it. The deal was worked out by Democratic Senator Carl Levin and Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, who sponsored the original amendment. Calls for automatic appeals for prisoners who get at least 10-year prison sentences or the death penalty. The amendments are part of a defense bill that also bans torture and sets rules for how detainees are interrogated.
Fine. Jim Nance is coming up in a little while. Well, I mean, you just go on and on. I mean, God, enough.
What?
I don't know. Just Jim Nance is coming up. Bo Dietl's coming up. We talked with Chris Matthews this morning. And Delbert McClinton is going to sing next. Chris has a little sports, probably has the results of the football game, which I believe Dallas won.
They did, 21-20. Late last night, Donovan McNabb threw an interception to Roy Williams, who returned it for a touchdown with 2:43 left. McNabb also
threw it to Roy.
Well, possibly. Threw it right to him. Maybe he was tanking the game. Well, maybe he had a few shekels on it. Something along those lines.
I doubt that.
All right, well, I think you were... It sounded like you were questioning his integrity.
I got no sleep last night. Yeah.
Did you stay up and watch it? Is that what the problem was?
Oh, I am worn out.
I couldn't sleep at all last night. Just thinking of you. Everything went right. When I was tossing and turning, tossing and turning. I kicked the blankets on the floor. Turned my pillow upside down. I never did before. Because I was tossing and turning and tossing and turning. I'm in the morning.
Picture a note.
Have you personally invited him to be on the show?
They saw The Who, they saw Bob Dylan, Jimmy Buffett, they partied in New Orleans, and, had Steven Tyler of Aerosmith play his inaugural ball in 1994. He says, do you think you could see Elliot Spitzer driving into the Hudson River? I don't think so.
No. Diving in as well did up in the Charles River?
Mm-hmm.
He'll have a cocktail with you.
We have really got to have a meeting about this scum reports. I mean, I can't tell you how much that sucks. Well, the Cardinal was on earlier this morning, and, of course, well, they suck, too. So please welcome now over from the Archdiocese.
Hello.
Cardinal Egan. Good morning, Cardinal Egan.
Hello, Nancy. Good morning, you comrades. Let me just say this, Amos Lamar. The New York radio executive geniuses who facilitate on a daily basis this Amos Lamar filth. It was somewhat amusing leading up to Halloween, ha-ha. But it's now time to take down those huge highway and bus billboards with the I-Man's hideous picture on it, BJs. It's causing too many cases of DWN. Driving while nauseated, BJs. There's a God in heaven, we get to see a picture of the I-Man on the highway under a bus, BJs, or a tractor trailer or some damn thing. Severed leg lying in the left lane. Shredded cowboy hat in the right. Blood trickling this way and that. Wait a second, Amos Lamar. I think I'm getting a boner, BJs.
Come on, Eric.
On ahead, you schmuck. Let me just say this, Amos Lamar.
Sure.
I did happen to be listening while you interviewed 60 Minutes Dinosaur, the venerable Mike Wallace, Amos Lamar.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for the audience, there is zero entertainment in listening to a forgetful old diaper-wearing moron at that early hour, BJs. And by the way, Mike Wallace wasn't much better. I'll tell you that, Amos Lamar.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Schmuck, you see my foot coming to your teeth, you dirtbag, you. Hello, Mr. Lamar. Sounds like an exciting new movie coming out this weekend.
Really?
This movie Jarhead. Take two. This movie Jarhead, I'm Mr. Lamar. Have you heard about this?
Yes, I have.
Jarhead, about the experiences of some young Marines as they prepared for the first Gulf War. Maybe they can make a movie about the I-Man's experiences as a young Marine one day. They can call it Dickhead, BJs. Or Full Metal Jackass or some damn thing, you Camilla Parker Bowles-looking coward, you BJs. What the hell's going on down there in our nation's capital, Mr. Lamar? Answer me that.
I don't know.
I thought the First Lady instructed President Bush to appoint a woman to the Supreme Court. Instead, apparently President BB Brain grew a set of nuts. And instead appointed some meatball-sucking wop, Jesus. What the hell's all that about, Amos Lamar? First Scalia, now Alito. What the hell are they doing down there, Mr. Lamar? Interpreting the Constitution or mixing concrete, BJs, to flip it to God? How about Fungo? What's the matter, yo, BJs? Speaking of making us sick, Mr. Lamar, New York City and beyond, all abuzz with the long-awaited arrival of The Odd Couple, Mr. Moran.
Yeah.
No, not that play, you incontinent imbecile, you. I'm talking about the snaggletooth Prince Charles and his horse-faced whore, Camilla Parker Bowles, be Jesus. These two fugly parasites are here blocking traffic and scaring kids. Let's hope these two tea-sucking turds end up floating face down in the harbor before it's all over, be Jesus. We pray that prodigal beast Camilla has 50 paper bags to match her 50 dresses, be Jesus. Now, get your heads down, you hooligans, be Jesus. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
All right. I miss with the sucking chest wound we want the most. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
In all seriousness, I miss the morn. Good luck and Godspeed to the good judge, Sam Alito. And to hell with those who don't like the fact that he's a God-fearing Guido. Lord, hear our prayer. Lord, we pray that lion neocon chicken hawk Irving Libby is hung by the neck until dead, or at least celebrates next Yom Kippur in a cell giving black inmates head. Lord, hear our prayer, please.
No.
Lord, we pray that Prince Charles gets busted having gay sex by his wife, and that he gets mad and beats her to within an inch of her life, please. Lord, hear our prayer.
Well,
all right, he says that he gets arrested and threatens her with a knife.
Okay.
Let's go with that. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Finally, Lord, we pray the I-Man keeps putting his wife on the show, an hour at the clip, so we can all just see how much this moron is pussy whipped. Lord, hear our prayer, Jesus.
Lord, hear our prayer.
God bless us and save us and funk the queen, Jesus. Which doesn't belong in why?
Okay.
Which doesn't belong in why?
All right.
A, Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
B, Larry King.
Larry King.
C, Iverson Lamar. Which doesn't belong in why?
You bastard. I missed in the morning, obviously.
Wrong, you henpecked old hermaphrodite, you be Jesus. While we all know by now what these three old sickos have in common, the answer, scrotum face, is A, Woody Allen doesn't belong because unlike the other two, Woody Allen gets his shirts pressed at home, be Jesus. You ring up for retard. Move along, you dirt bag kid.
Going to leave you here on the I Missed in the Morning program.
On that trip, can't keep away.
Democrats across New Jersey switching to Doug Forrester for governor?
The Star-Ledger writes, the time has come for a distinct difference in how government operates, and Doug Forrester is the shock therapy the state needs. Doug Forrester is our choice for governor.
Doug Forrester is New Jersey's only hope for reducing taxes, eliminating waste in Trenton, and stamping out corruption, says the Asbury Park Press.
Forrester is the type of moderate who serves the state well. Forrester is determined and honest, and he's the best bet for New Jersey, reports the Daily Record.
The Courier Post says New Jersey residents deserve better. That's why we're endorsing Doug Forrester for governor.
Doug Forrester has been relentless about ending corruption and restoring the public's trust in government. For these reasons, the Bergen Record recommends Mr. Forrester for governor.
New Jersey, it's time for a change.
Doug Forrester for governor.
Paid for by Forrester for governor, 29 Evans Drive, Princeton, New Jersey.
My friends told me I should just move on, but I can't. The regret is overwhelming.
Do you feel like you're in over your head and there's nothing you can do to change your situation?
I have this little red convertible that used to be my escape. Now it just sits in the garage.
If this sounds familiar, you may have bought the wrong performance tires for your car, and we can help. At Cooper Tire, we make performance tires you can feel good about, like Cooper Xeons.
2 days ago, this young kid pulled up next to me at a light and revved his engine. Then he looked at my tires and just started laughing.
If you or someone you love is unhappy with their performance tires, please get help immediately. Visit your nearest Cooper Tire dealer and ask to see our full line of Xeon high-performance tires.
Well, I finally got Cooper Tires. Now, I want a rematch.
Confidence, performance, attitude. Cooper Tires. Don't give up a thing.
See Gregor Jeff at Greg & Son Tire Emporium in Wayne and American Tire and Auto Care in Greenbrook, Westfield, Flemington, or Chester.
Believe it or not, there's a way to give the perfect gift. A gift that makes everyone happy. Your niece Ellen could open a...
Mama! Ooh!
Your brother-in-law could finally groove on a... Your kid's favorite teacher will love... Yeah, gotcha. And your nephews will spend countless hours with air. And how do you give them this happiness? With the American Express gift card. It's the one way to give them endless choices to experience what they really want. For everything from sporting goods to a music lesson to a spa to an amazing dinner. Give the American Express gift card, because instead of one place, it's good all over the place.
Available at any Astoria Federal branch. Usable in the United States where American Express cards are accepted. Usage restrictions and guidelines apply.
That's 28 almost.
We're not out of the set yet. I got another minute.
We're not out of the set yet. What's going on?
I'm editing while I'm doing this.
Well, there's nothing on the air now.
We're on the air. We should be playing commercials.
I don't hear anything.
Sure. No. Have you personally invited him to be on the show?
Yes, we personally invited him.
Yeah, well, when's the last time you had a president in office was on the show?
Well, I don't remember, Jim. But what difference does it make?
Well,
this guy's a moron, and he's got us into a war that's insane, and he doesn't want to answer any questions. So when he feels like answering some questions, because if he comes on here, it's not like these pussy programs he goes on. It's not a rehearsed situation where we're going to give him the questions in advance.
Wow.
He comes sit down and answer some questions.
Are you wound up this morning?
Yeah, and I'm not in the mood for any of this. So what game are you doing next week? Answer me.
I don't know.
I know where you live. We'll come to your house.
Yeah.
We'll come to your house this morning.
I know where you live, too.
Yeah, well, you can't get in there. We can come to your house.
I can get in there.
We're on our way to your house
your neighbor, so I can jump over your neighbor's fence.
We'll whip your ass. We'll open up a big old can of Westport whip ass on you.
Yeah, that's a big hot commodity here.
What else do you want?
You got to ask Delbert. I was talking to somebody the other day who knows him well. Do you know that he taught John Lennon?
Oh, God, please.
This is
just
true.
Get off just get off.
He taught it.
Oh, please get off the phone.
If I cross your path again, who knows when, on some mountain without a number, on some highway without end. Don't grab my hand and say, fate has brought you here today. Oh, fate is only fooling with us, friend. Keep your distance. When I feel you close to me, what can I do but fall? Keep your distance. Keep your distance. Oh, with us, it must be all or none at all. Imus in the morning.
It's too bad we didn't have time to get out that Delbert bumper where he talks about.
Yeah.
It's been John Lennon.
Oh, my
Do you
God.
think Nancy ever listens to this program?
Maybe not.
Jesus. I mean,
This is the truth now.
I just don't have any. I just don't know how to.
Did you know that John Lennon...
I know Delbert was letting John Lennon to play the harmonica. God almighty. This is like walking into the lion's cage this morning. Morning, Chris. Morning.
Cowboys come from behind last night to beat the Eagles 21-20. Donovan McNabb threw an interception to Roy Williams, returning it for a touchdown. McNabb also hurt his groin in the game, missed the rest of the game. But a good job last night by Boomer Esiason on Westwood 1. As the broadcast started around 8:30 Eastern Time in what we call here in the business a scene center, he described how Eagles center Jamal Jackson was going to feel in his first career start. If I can get this to fire.
I know one thing about Jamal Jackson, the center. Since he's starting his first game, he's going to be nervous, and he's going to be really wet in places that Donovan McNabb has got to put his hand. So that's not going to be an easy thing for Donovan.
Very classy, Boomer. Way to set up the night.
What an idiot. I mean, one of the dumbest people I've ever met in my life, Boomer Esiason. A nice guy, but stupid. Oh, God, is he stupid. Oh, my God. That's great, Boomer.
Break up the Knicks. They've won their second in a row. They beat the Jazz 73-62. Lakers lose last night to Memphis. Alex Rodriguez won his second MVP award in the American League in 3 seasons.
What the headline saying of Daily News, more bling, no ring.
I love the back of the New York Newsday today. MVPU. Outstanding. Anyway, why not? Doesn't the guy deserve it? He certainly thinks so, given his illustrious history with the Yankees in the postseason.
What's going on there?
We played really well in October, and I hope to continue to play well in October.
I've played really well in October. Apparently some sort of short-term memory loss. A-Rod hit 133, no RBIs in the Yankee postseason. Hit that ginkgo biloba, Cowboy. Might help you remember some things of what actually happened.
What's the engineering problem over there this morning?
I don't know. The button that I used to normally fire it wasn't working, so I had to hit an alter one. You got it.
12 minutes silly hour,
Syrup that dripped on it.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of breakfast, Delbert was back there. I walked in this morning back in the conference room meeting. I mean, it was like he was going to drive an 18-wheeler across country.
he was taking on some cargo.
And then he came in and sang.
Yeah.
Very well.
You bet.
All right, so what else was on your mind, Bo?
None. I was out, a lot of fans of yours in Ohio. I went to Dayton, Ohio with Mark Arshimani and a couple of my boys. We went to the National Cash Register there. I was investigating...
What were you doing there?
I was investigating this Teradata, this information system that Homeland Security should be using. So I went down there to get a little education about putting all the information, all the intelligence into one thing with all the agencies, so they could share the INS with the Coast Guard, with the immigrations, and the customs, and it's there, and that's why I went to Washington for the last 2 weeks, trying to smack some heads together there to realize that we have a technology that they can put all this intelligence together. If you don't scream and yell, the bureaucracy in Washington, everyone's walking around like Night of the Living Dead. They're all so happy that they're congressmen and senators. They got to get some stuff done there.
Yeah.
And you know what? I have to force the issue because the towelheads are coming back. And I want to be prepared, and I want to be prepared with that Louisville Slugger when they come back.
Right.
That's it. People love you in Ohio. People love you in National Cash Register. Everybody loves everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You buying any of that, Charles?
What?
Zero.
What? Zero what? Real zero what?
Hey, didn't I buy a table at Rails at that skip dinner?
When do you want to go?
I don't know.
You and the lovely Miss, you know, it would be a great night. Go for a little early Rayo's dinner. We have a little Rayo's dinner, and then we could go see the Jersey Boys with the Four Seasons. It's like the top show on Broadway, man. We could have a real good night.
I always liked the Four Seasons, and I always liked Sherry and...
Big Girls Don't Cry.
Can you come out tonight and all that?
How about Walk Like a Man,
Okay,
Walk
good.
Like a Man,
But
Walk Like a Man, ooh.
Yeah, okay, please don't sing it.
Okay.
The Sherry was, but I mean enough. I just don't want to go sit through. How long is it?
No. It's not that long, and I'm going to tell you something.
How long?
It's about...
Is it over 3 minutes?
That's you in action. 3 minutes.
Is it over 3 minutes? Thank you.
Yes, it's over 3
You are such a jerk. Anyway, this Jones legacy for Joan Scarangelo, who died of lung cancer, unfortunately, Delbert and his wife and some other people have formed this foundation, and they've raised a lot of money, and they've devoted money to lung cancer research. Not a lot of money goes to that, but they're having this big deal over at the Times Square Studios, which is at 1500 Broadway, around 44th. And there's dinner, but it's not a stuffy sit-down deal. Just great dinner, great food. They're serving patron tequila. Do you know about that, Lou?
It's good stuff.
I don't know about that.
I know Patron.
Oh, you do?
Good stuff.
They're serving that. So there's going to be margaritas and all that. Delbert's going to perform. And they're having a great silent auction, Bo. And one of the things they're auctioning off is dinner at Rayo's.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you want to know something? Lung cancer is one of the things that two of my best friends, I lost one of my best friends, Cy Stewart, and lung cancer is something that they should focus more on, not just the smoking of the cigarettes. It's caused by a lot of things. And you know something, it's something important because it touches all our lives, and it's a good charity. And you know what? I won a couple over the weekend. Maybe we'll contribute a couple.
Well, I bid $10,000. The guys bid $8,100 to do sports on this program. So I've now bid $10,000 for that, so we can keep him from coming in and doing it.
Not if you endure that.
And I've also bid $10,000 on Tom Brokaw's anchor chair, the mumble seat.
Why don't you sell your hat, that hat you're wearing? Why don't we put that up for bid? Well, for the first bid, I'll bid $5,000 for your hat.
No, this hat is my favorite hat. I can't put it up.
No?
I'd give the money first.
Oh, yeah? Okay, just trying.
Yes, you can't get a good hat anymore.
No.
So that's $10,000 for the chair and $10,000 for the to do sports in the program. In fact, if I win both of these, I'll do sports myself in Mumble's anchor chair.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Only thing that diminishes the value of Tom Brokaw's actual anchor chair is that Brian Williams has apparently sat in it.
As I understood from some information yesterday, they have both autographed, signed the chair, both Mr. Brokaw and Mr. Williams. Now, I don't know if that's apocryphal or not. I read that somewhere.
Well, we're not at a point where Brian Williams' autograph is worth anything, are we?
No, absolutely not.
yet.
No, I mean, it diminishes the value.
In fact, you'd have to sand off wherever he signed it.
He's got to take the pipe before it's worth it.
Did John Siegenthal sign it too? I mean, who cares?
There you go.
Exactly.
Brokaw's,
There you go.
up here, and these guys are all down there. Come on.
We don't need Brian Williams signing it. I mean, that's
all about.
That's actually offensive.
You're going to lower your bid.
Did Campbell Brown sign? Did she sit in and pass wind in the chair too?
No.
Wait a minute.
But we don't have to go there. That is ugly.
We're trying to raise money here.
I understand that. But so.
You know who looks hot, Don? Condoleezza, whatever her name is, Rice.
Condoleezza Rice?
That one, yeah, that one there. I'm gonna tell you something. She's got a sassy way about her. When you look at her, you can tell that she's in a physical, very good frame of mind, and she's got a little sass to her, Condoleezza. You think she can vibrate up to the presidential position? Or what? You don't think she can sit in that seat?
You know, I am stupefied. That's what I am. You are unbelievable.
Why? You don't think she gives you a little equivocation? There's something about her. She's got a sass. She's got that home-down sass. And you know what? You're always wondering about her, what side of the road she's on. You know?
No, I don't. No, that's not something I wonder.
Go on the other side of the road.
She's on the road to peace, right, Charles?
She's there. I tell you what, she's on the She's going to be eating some chop suey soon. She's down there slapping Tate and eating the lamb over in the Middle East. She's jumping on a plane to eat some Chinese food now. This lady's all over the place. Man, she's going to be the next president, I think. Because if she runs against my girl Hillary, it's going to be some lesbianic box.
Don't you have to go somewhere?
No, I don't have nothing to do.
I'm begging you.
I'm with you, brother.
No.
It's me and you, brother.
I call security because they can't do anything with you. Your security. Well, these guys do.
Someone you love.
And they have strong a-hole tendencies. Strong self-interests that run into a-hole area. Yeah. What's going on in the world?
The U.S. and South Korea both proclaiming that a nuclear-armed North Korea will not be tolerated. President Bush and the President of South Korea agreeing that the problem should be resolved through peaceful and diplomatic means. South Korea has taken a softer line than Mr. Bush with the communist North, but they say the goal is the same, a non-nuclear Korean peninsula. South Korea is hosting the annual Asia-Pacific Economic Forum, which begins today.
How come the South Korean First Lady, or whatever the hell she is, she's got like a uniform on too? What's that all about?
I don't know. I guess it's just a cultural thing, I meant.
If they all wear uniforms?
I couldn't.
It looks like a Hillary Clinton pantsuit.
It really does.
Yeah, it's not too well. All right.
So, can I tell you?
Plus, we're giving away today, Chuck, the Max Jet trip to London.
This is good. Yeah.
So this is a huge day.
This show is loaded.
Wow.
I'm actually fairly.
I can tell you're excited.
Yeah. All right. Coming up on 9 minutes after the hour. What else going on?
The president in South Korea for the Trade and Economic Summit, but he's taking time to respond to his critics of pre-war Iraq policy. During a news conference, Mr. Bush said it is simply wrong for Democrats to be saying that he deliberately misled the Congress and the public about Iraq.
Sure.
It's irresponsible to use politics. This is serious business. To make it winning this war.
It's hard.
It is irresponsible to do what they've done.
Oh, yeah. It's hard. They won't kill us.
The president said it's all Democrats trying to score political points.
Sure, of course.
And in his sharpest attack yet of the Iraq war criticism, the vice president assailed some Senate Democrats for saying that the White House manipulated intelligence to justify the war.
The president and I cannot prevent certain politicians from losing their memory or their backbone. But we're not going to sit by and let them rewrite history.
Yeah. Ooh, like that.
Dum, dum, dum. The vice president also said that some of the most irresponsible comments...
He's evil, you know. I'm very close to them, as you know. But he is, that's evil.
He's starting to feel the heat.
The most irresponsible comments have been delivered by politicians who actually voted in favor of authorizing the use of force against former Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein.
Scrambling like a bunch of rats now, aren't they?
Iraq is not the only bone of contention between Senate Democrats and the White House. It's a matter you were just alluding to, I-Man. They want another shot at some of the administration's biggest backers, Big Oil, specifically the executives who testified in a hearing last week. Washington Post citing a White House document showing that major oil company heads did meet secretly with aides to Vice President Dick Cheney as they were crafting a national energy policy in 2001.
That can't be, Charles.
The execs who testified last week denied taking part in such meetings. New Jersey Senator Frank Lautenberg says Big Oil needs an encore in front of the United States Senate.
Yeah.
I hope that we can get the CEOs back before the Congress to get a better understanding of what they really said when they said no to me, what was the truth of the matter.
That Humpty Dumpty fat pig-looking stooge from Exxon with that big flapping thing underneath his chin there.
Yeah.
You just, every time his lips moved, you knew he was lying.
The oil executives also denied allegations of price gouging and manipulation in the wake of the hurricanes, Katrina and Rita.
Jim Cramer had the best line, is that what kind of machinations they had to go through to make that profit figure come in at 9.9 billion instead of 10.
Keeping it under 10, baby. Keep it under 10.
I don't care what you have to do.
Whatever.
Even if you have to give money to poor people. we can't get into double digits on this one.
Give some of it away. Do something.
Do anything. Burn it. Shred it. Whatever you have to do.
I don't care what you have to do. Do it.
12 after the hour.
We can't have a $10 billion figure hanging on us.
We have somebody from Baghdad who's been on the show 500 times, or not that many times, but I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his name, although he's been a big I-Man fan since he was a little child. How do you pronounce your last name, Mike?
It's Betcher.
Betcher. Why wouldn't I know that, I wonder?
Well, you knew it the first time.
I did?
I'll say, it's easy.
Okay, how are you this morning?
It's been busy, Don. This whole story about the secret detention and torture facility has really
on and on. Baby, don't you know I'm a real soul shaker? Baby, don't you know I'm gonna set your world on fire? Gonna take you so high we'll be tearing a hole in the sky. I'm a dynamite daddy, I'll put the rhythm in your blues. I'm not a wishy-washy boy like you used to. Hey, I'm a real soul shaker. I'm a true love maker. I'm a giver and a taker.
It's Red Hook, upstate New York, Dutchess County.
Oh, it is?
Yes, sir.
Well, I got, crummy information from Bernard, but
It's a common mistake everyone makes.
you're not surprised, are you?
Wow, Bernard's a great American.
Who are you going to take to London with you?
My darling wife, who I think right now is listening in her office, probably screaming, jumping up and down.
Well, congratulations. What do you do for a living?
I just retired, I-Man, as an attorney for the state of New York after 32 years, and I'm an adjunct professor at a local college here.
Well, you managed to get out, not get indicted or get locked up or anything, right?
Yeah, well, I just covered my backside at all times.
All right, baby. Well, congratulations from Max Jet, from the radio station, WFAN in New York, and everybody else, and have fun in London, all right?
Thank you very much, I-Man.
All right, thanks. 23 till the hour here in the Imus Wayne program. All right, y'all, please welcome to the Imus Wayne program, Big and Rich. All right, guys.
Said goodbye to his mama as he left South Dakota to fight for the red, white, and blue. He was 19 green with a new M16, just doing what he had to do. He was dropped in the jungle where the choppers would rumble with the smell of napalm in the air. And then the sergeant said, look up ahead, like a dark evil cloud, 1,200 came down on him and 29 more. They fought for their lives, but most of them died in the 173rd Airborne. On the 8th of November, the angels were crying as they carried his brothers away. With fire raining down and the hell all around, there were few men left standing that day. So the
Red song. Big and Red, too, in the amateur.
Here we go. Well, I got me a Chevy and it seats about 20. So come on and bring your love train money. Hey! I from the atomic guitar player, come on.
Big and Red is coming up.
Always been crazy, it's kept me from going insane. Nobody knows if it's something to bless or the blame. Yeah, but so far I ain't found a rhyme or a reason to change. Well, I've always been crazy, but it's kept me from going insane.
Let me talk to you about Friendly Motor Car.
Mudflap with the MasterCard International Fan Highway Patrol.
9 minutes till the hour here in the Abbott Morning program. Once again, y'all, Big and Red.
Well, I walked up to the bar. I laid down my platinum card, and I ordered 50 long necks for my new friend. tight. Walk us and pick a fight. Hey, I've always been the kind to get along. I throw parties all the time, and they're always on my dime. Yeah, we drink and dance and smoke and till the dawn. So my style is stress relief. Sometimes disturbs the peace. The police show up and cut donuts in my yard. Hey, while the Zeppelins playing loud, they run off my party crowd. Well, they cuff my wrist and throw me down so hard. Come on, sing it now. Hey, why does everybody want to kick my ass? Hey, I'm just trying to have a little fun for all the ones who can't. Just because I kiss the prettiest girl and I drive my truck too fast. Hey, why does everybody want to kick my ass? Play that part where Texas steel guitar, son. Because I kiss the prettiest girls and I drive my truck too fast. Hey, why does everybody want to seem like everybody wants? Why does everybody want to kick my Brothers and sisters, we've gathered here today for one reason and one reason alone, to share with you all our love of country music. We present to you country music without prejudice, big and rich style. Make some noise! Yeah, country boys don't rock and roll. Yeah, that record man told me so. You never get it on the radio. Why they trying to complicate the simple music that we make? Cause if it moves my soul, I'm gonna keep on rolling, rolling. I just wanna hear everybody sing. At the top of your lungs to the window free. Hey, 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 I ain't gonna shut my mouth. I don't mind if I stand out in a crowd. Just wanna live out loud. But I know there's got to be a few 100 million more like me just trying to keep it free. Just wanna hear everybody sing. At the top of your lungs to the window free. I say, hey, 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 hey. Sonny Pride was a man in black. Rock and roll used to be about Johnny Cash. Hey, what do you think about that now? Hey, Sonny Pride was a man in black. Rock and roll used to be about Johnny Cash. Hey, what do you think about that? Listen up, everybody. Well, I'm a crazy son of a bad word, but I know I'm gonna make it big and rich. Yeah, I'm gonna
from a barbecue brisket. Got more chunk than a fresh potato salad. Thought you had your answer, but your answer wasn't valid. You looking at me crazy because you think I'm loco. The big black cowboy with the crazy loco. Todas las personas están gritando arriba. Now you heard it, now I know you a believer. Esta canción es para toda la gente. Es muy importante a usar su mente. So let go of all your preconceived notions. Get up on your feet and put your body in motion. Back home, we love to dance. We can be two stepping away to the trance. And when the party is drunk, girls back it up. Got the sisters in the car and the 20s on the truck. 6'5" with a cowboy hat. I don't mess around, yo, what's up with that? I'm Cowboy Troy, a Texas hit, and I'm rolling with the brothers. Go cowboy, go cowboy, go! 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 Just wanna hear everybody sing. At the top of your lungs till the windows ring. I say, hey, 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 hey. Just wanna hear everybody sing. At the top of your lungs till the windows ring. Hey, 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 hey.
That's great. Woo! Wow. It gets no better than that. Jesus, that was great. That's unbelievable. This is WFAN in New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Radio Station. Holy God. I'm shook with the news. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, Hi-Man.